Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Dash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that rule impeccably well. Shalom to the hopeful elect, pushing his truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. All right, this is going to be a brief video. As you can see, I'm in transit, and you have a whole load of smoke. There appears to be a fire somewhere, on the side of the motorway. All right, and as we know, because of the heat over here in the UK, they've been pushing that real heavy, talking about how the heat is causing fires, spontaneous fires, throughout the UK, and they're basically hyping it up and pushing it out there as a real problem. They're talking about hose pipe bans, so you're not allowed to use a particular amount of water. You're not allowed to water your plants in your garden. Okay, they're talking about if you use the shower, or the bath, really, talking about the shower, they were saying that you should only have the shower running, I think it was for like 2 minutes, and then you got to turn it off to preserve the water. All right, so they're coming down with that real draconian spirit to get people to adhere to the rules that are in place. And this is all part of the New World Order system, because we know that Esau uses gradualism, all right, in order to get done what he needs to get done. All right, he always uses the technique of gradualism. He'll put in particular laws and policies gradually, and then as time goes by, he will turn up the draconian nature of the laws as time goes by. All right, he won't just bring it in full force, all right, because that will shock the people. All right, he would rather gradually bring in these laws and gradually make them more and more draconian, because it's easier to get the job done in that way. All right, but the time's gonna come when which we're in that time right now, when things are gonna start popping off left, right, and center. All right, and Esau's gonna lose his patience with all the gradualism that he's been doing. All right, because he really wants to get this New World Order system up and running and off the ground, man. All right, and something I was thinking about, because I was watching a video, I believe it was yesterday morning, with the elder Yashawamba, and it was basically about how I can't remember the actual title of the video, but it was regarding the infrastructure of the MOTB system being set in place right before your eyes, roughly paraphrased. And if you go to the elder's page, you see the video on his page, Remnant Save 144, and basically it was a very edifying lesson, and the elder was going into, or rather the elders, because it was a camp video that he was playing in the background, and he was talking, stopping and talking and expounding on a few points. But he was basically saying how, or the elders were saying how, regarding the electric cars, all right, how they want to make these electric cars a thing where it's going to be mandatory. All right, and we've been talking about that for a few months now. All right, because they've been pushing the electric cars, and that's because they want to have full control of the vehicles. Okay, so if they ever needed to stop you for any reason, they could shut down your car, all right, remotely. Okay, they could actually shut down your car remotely, man. Okay, and have it to the point where you can't go anywhere without their say so. That's full control. All right, and that's why they want all of your cars to be electric. All right, because that's going to make it easier for them, all right, to control you. Okay, and if they control your car, all right, they basically control your life and your lifestyle. Okay, and that's how it's going to get. People don't understand how draconian and how vicious this MOTB system is actually going to be. All right, if you watch a woman by the name of Catherine Fitz, all right, but she was juiced in to the political realm. All right, when you look her up on the Wikipedia, all right, you will also see how she was saying in various different interviews, most of them you'll have to watch on on Odyssey, all right, because a lot of her content has been axed on YouTube, all right, because she goes in deep, you know, regarding, you know, the New World Order agenda, so on and so forth. But basically, she was even saying how, you know, it's going to get to the point where they're going to actually want to control, you know, what you eat, all right, and that's why they're always making a big fuss, you know, regarding, you know, climate change and how, you know, us eating meat, you know, and having access to particular foods is causing a problem, okay? Which is, you know, total, you know, it's total foolery, all right? And it's total bullshit, but that's the angle that Esau is coming with, you know, to try and bring in, you know, this New World Order system, all right? And, you know, basically that's why they're introducing, you know, the eating of, you know, spiders, you know, various, you know, crawling things and insects that are against, you know, eating according to the Holy Scriptures, okay? That's why they're doing that, man. You know, they're trying to get you now, you know, again, using the technique of gradualism, they're trying to get you now to eat abominable things, man. Okay? Abominable, you know, insects and abominable, you know, crawling things that are forbidden, you know, according to the Scriptures, all right? Now, there are, you know, particular, you know, insects that you can eat, okay? You know, when we want to talk about, you know, grasshoppers, you know, so on and so forth. All right, but they're bringing it on a whole wider scale. All right, they want you to eat straight up things that are not meant to be eaten, man. For example, you know, spiders. Okay, and they already started introducing these things in Portugal. You know, I saw, you know, a news piece on it where they were basically trying to get the children to indulge in insects. All right, and they usually, you know, use you know, grasshoppers, you know, crickets, so on and so forth, as a gateway to introduce it. All right. That's what they usually use it as a gateway, and then they move on to the other things. All right, just showing you, you know, how, you know, evil, you know, this man is. All right, because he always mixes the truth with lies. Okay, that's a perfect example of that. Esau using the truth, and you know, and then, you know, segueing, you know, into a lie and into an abominable way of eating by, you know, adding in the spiders, you know, so on and so forth, and snakes, and, you know, all kind of, you know, reptiles, man. Okay, which is unclean, you know, onto us, man. Now, another thing, you know, that the elders video made me think about was, I remember there was a time, this was about, you know, 3-4 months ago, maybe a bit longer, you know, and, you know, my car was in the garage, all right, because there was an issue with my car. So, you know, sometimes you'll have a replacement, you know, the garage might give you. And this particular replacement car that I had, it wasn't an electric vehicle. However, it was one of them, you know, it was one of them fancy vehicles, and it had a whole, you know, load of settings that I wasn't used to. Now, I was speaking to one of the brothers while I was in this car. You know, I had a long drive, about a 2-hour drive. So, you know, sometimes you be talking to the Archean while you're driving, and we were reasoning on the scriptures, so on and so forth. And we had to be talking for about 45 minutes. And then out of nowhere, you know, because I was hooked up to the Bluetooth system in the car, and out of nowhere the car basically popped up with a message on the screen saying that I've been talking for too long and I need to come off the phone. All right, and I was like, damn. And it was like a very abrupt, you know, interruption on the actual system, all right, because it actually made me stop and read the message that was on the screen. You know, it had like an alarm to it, all right. And then, you know, I told the brother, like, hey man, this car is telling me to get off the phone. It's saying that I've been talking for too long, you know. And at the time, you know, we was laughing about it, and then we was like, hey, you know, that just shows you, you know, the route, you know, where they're going with this, man. They want to control everything that you're doing, all right. And bit by bit, you know, they're introducing it, using their technology, using, you know, the new cars they're releasing, so on and so forth. Now, I'm sure in the settings, you know, you can go into the settings and you can turn that interruption off. But the point is that they're introducing it. All right, why is that even on there, man? You know, how is technology gonna tell you, all right, that you should get off the phone and you've been talking for too long? Okay, that just shows you that's that control, that's that gradualism. All right, because it's gonna come a point where they're gonna release these cars where you're not gonna be able to turn that off, and it will turn off the call for you. Okay, you're not gonna have a choice. It's actually gonna turn off the call for you. Okay, that is control. All right, and that's the level of control that Esau wants on your life, man. All right, to the point where, you know, he can control, you know, when you speak, when you don't speak, you know, the kind of conversations that you're having, okay? There's going to be certain words that are going to flag up, all right? And then you might just, you know, have to, you know, deal with the authorities, man, all right? Don't say, look, you had a conversation, you mentioned such and such. Why was you mentioning that? You know, you're going to have to explain yourself. You know, don't think that this is far-fetched, because that's where the world is heading. That's where the world is heading, man. Okay, now what does it say in the book of Thessalonians? All right, that Esau was going to set himself up as the Most High. All right, and that's exactly what we're witnessing in these last days, man. All right, Esau is putting himself up as the Most High, as Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. But he's not. Okay, he's merely a man. Okay, he is merely a man, and at that, he's a man that's going to be destroyed through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Makar Kodash. Okay, don't forget that, man. All right, but hey, check out, you know, the Elder Yashawamba's video. Is a very edifying video. You know, it gives great, you know, insight regarding, you know, this new world order system and how it's being formulated, you know, like he said in the title, right before your eyes, because that's exactly what's happening. All right, and you know, you got so many people that are still asleep to the fact that, you know, how severe, you know, this system of control that he's ushering in is going to be, man. All right, and you know, you still got Jake that are still asleep, and they don't realize how draconian it's really going to be, man. All right, when Esau starts to show his horns, all right, Revelations 12:12, you know, because he knows that he have but a short time. Okay, when he starts to show them horns, you're going to really see how draconian this man is, man. And you're going to really see how sick and twisted he is and what he's willing to do to have full control. All right, so with that, Lord willing, this brief lesson was edifying. And until the next one, I'll say shalom.